Hello and welcome to another episode of Tribunal of the Griddle. You talk about all things Power Rangers, including the actors that play them. My name is Brandon.
I am Lena.
I'm Will.
And today, all three of us are here, but we are also joined by a very special friend of ours. But before we introduce that friend, I just want to go ahead and let all y'all know what we're gonna kind of be going over as of today. Because every week, we coming at you either with an interview or just with just a random episode, just to make sure that y'all have something to listen to because we love the people. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? So today we will be talking about team ups.
Yay!
Now there are some team ups that are like these are good. Like these are bomb. These were like, the definition of what Power Rangers is all about. You know what I'm saying? And then there are some that are like, y'all could have left this alone. So we're gonna be going through each one of them. But without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and we're gonna bring in our guest. We have our guest. He is first of all, we met him at Power Morphicon back in 2018. And he's a real sweetheart, very tall. But a sweetheart. Because I'm like, I'm tall and I have to look up to him. So I'm like, oh, you're pretty tall. So without further ado, welcome Travis. Travis, how are you?
Great. How are you guys doing?
Good.
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 Good. So, a little bit about yourself, Travis. So, what do you do for the people? For the people who don't know, what do you do, Travis?
What do I do? Work on a science research base in Antarctica. And when I'm not working there, I travel the world usually.
Nice.
So, there you have it, y'all. There you have it. I mean, he is well-traveled, y'all. So you can be a fan and also be well-traveled. Hallelujah, somebody. Well, we are glad to have you. We are glad to have you. And thank you for joining us today. Thank you very much, sir. So, of course. So, we brought you on here because, we love, bringing in guests so we can all just have a good time and talking about the show that we love the most. Well, for the most part, anyway. Now, y'all, there are some team ups that we love. And there's some team ups that we are like, So I'm gonna ask y'all. I'm just gonna ask you. What is and you don't have to, and this doesn't have to be like your definitive like favorite team up. It doesn't have to be that. But I would like to know, what is your favorite team? What is one of your favorite team ups? And I mean, actually, Travis, since you're the guest, what's one of your favorite team ups?
I would have to say one of my favorite team ups was Once a Ranger, Always a Ranger.
That's a good
like
one.
The first, well, not the first one, but one of them where they like brought in different seasons and kind of like formed a team, and that was pretty cool. Like I remember watching that, being like, yeah, this is it right here.
No, Once the Ranger was a good one. Like I like a lot of people give Once the Ranger a lot of flack, like because it was part of Operation Overdrive, which wasn't that
Really?
For being honest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, a lot of people give it like a lot of crap because they're just like, it's a part of Operation Overdrive. Oh. But I mean, I liked it.
I loved it.
I enjoyed it as well. I also like Operation Overdrive. I don't know if it's because I travel the world and it's about traveling, but
I personally really like Power Rangers Operation Overdrive myself too. I know a lot of fans don't like it, but I personally really like it myself.
Now, I'm not going to say I did not. There are certain aspects of Operation Overdrive that I actually, once I went back and rewatched it, because like during that time when it was like first airing, I remember I was in undergrad at the time. So I didn't really watch it too much. But when I did, I wasn't a fan. I was like, what is this foolishness? And like, I never really went back to like rewatch it like that until like years later. And mainly because of, the Neo Saban era. Excuse me. So then I went back and rewatched it. And I'm like, you know what? This really wasn't as bad as I remember it. I mean, yes, it was pretty bad. I'm like, except for a couple characters, I was just like, y'all could have been left out. But like for the most part, the show itself really wasn't that bad. Like I really enjoyed certain aspects of it, especially Mac's arc towards the end with him being a robot.
Yeah.
Like I loved that. And especially how he was giving his dad all the shade. Like, I mean, he was reading his dad left and right. And I'm like, oh, ouch.
He got on my nerves doing all that.
I loved it. I mean,
Me
even though,
too.
like, yeah, it was a little irritating at a point. Because it was just like, okay, dude, like, you doing a little too much. But at the same time, it's like, well, you did lie to him pretty much his entire life. So you can kind of understand him being a little agitated by him.
I mean,
Like,
I
I
feel
get
like
it.
that's us too, right? Like if you thought you were someone or something your whole life and realized you weren't, I think we would probably be the same way too. You know?
Okay, because and that was just, and it was so genius how they played it, because it's like he's supposed to be a robot, but he has full out feelings. Like,
With
I mean,
memories.
he has full out resentment towards his dad.
Yeah.
And it's like, but you're a robot. How do you have these feelings? You know what I'm saying? So he was already pretty much human anyway.
Yeah.
So it was just, I really just loved how they played that. It was just it was so good. I was like, wow, this is actually pretty interesting. But like I said, there were certain parts, I was like, mainly Dax, that I was just like,
I wasn't going to name names.
Well, no, we gonna name names. We gonna name names.
Yeah.
We gonna do it.
Dax,
because,
I could
mean,
definitely live
why not?
without.
I mean, why not?
I mean, I remember at the time I was thinking like I shouldn't hate because he's the only Asian guy. Well, like there's 2 Asian-ish on the team, so that was kind of cool. No.
Yeah.
No.
Rose was like the only saving grace for me for that season.
Wait, you didn't like Ronnie?
I was just gonna say I really like Ronnie.
No.
I like Ronnie.
I liked Ronnie myself.
She didn't do anything for me at all.
Oh.
No.
I think like at that time period, just yellows really didn't do anything for me. I felt like they weren't really they were all kind of just there. And
Worse
blonde.
than to Brandon.
Like, look what you do to Brandon. You're just... How could you, Will?
Yeah.
Daggers? Ouch. Are you serious? Like, so you didn't like Chip?
No.
I love Chip.
I think, who did I like in
Mystic Force?
Mystic Force. I liked I think the only one I liked was Xander, and I liked Madison, who was criminally underutilized. But
Yeah,
I think those were the
wrong.
only 2 that
What about Vita?
I wanted to.
I mean, we got to love the angry lesbian Vita. We have to love her.
Yes.
Come on now.
I mean, I was all about Nick, so...
Oh.
I was like, well, Nick, you're a hottie.
Oh, God.
I'm like, I'm here for this.
And the only reason why I say she was the angry lesbian is because, first of all, that pixie cut, definitely a lesbian haircut.
Yeah.
And also, too, like when she first was hanging out with Lily, that looked like a date. Like, it was giving me date vibes.
Right?
When she went with her to the little club thing before she got turned into a vampire.
Yeah.
I was like, this feels like a date.
All right.
I was just like, all right. I mean, I'm pretty sure she's a straight character, obviously, but like she definitely was giving me lesbian vibes. Yeah. Absolutely.
I mean, who knows? Maybe it was like one of those like hidden messages that we were supposed to guess.
Could be. It could have
Possibly.
been.
You know,
It
I
could
mean,
have been.
Lily was very like she was definitely giving me those lesbians vibes too. I genuinely thought she was interested in Vita.
Hello. I mean,
I haven't watched that.
well,
in
honestly,
so
I was getting more
long.
bisexual from her because she was trying to kind of hitting on Nick too, even though she was like trying to get him to like be mad at his friends and whatnot.
Mhm.
Still, she kind of gave me some bisexual vibes from her.
Right. Yeah, no, she was definitely everywhere.
Yeah, she was trying to get it from everybody, I think.
I mean, she was a
But we're
loner.
not talking about their sexualities. We're not doing that today. but who's next? Who's favorite team up?
I'll go. Forever Red.
Ah, yeah.
That's
was a good one.
And man, like that was the first time that we kind of got the lore of Power Rangers, like an expanded lore of Power Rangers. Like all the Reds had their powers back somehow. We still don't know exactly how that happened, but it was the start of in future team ups. The Rangers would have their old powers back, and even we got to see that in the comics as well. So that was the first time that we got to see that, and it was just an epic episode to have all of those Red Rangers back was crazy. Like I still remember by that point I had stopped watching Power Rangers because I thought I was too big for it, but I heard about what the episode was going to be, and then I tuned in and I loved it, and it was one of the episodes that I, even when I got a little bit older, I would go back and watch. And when I got back into Power Rangers as an adult, I watched it back, and it was still just like all those epic feels. So I loved that episode. I wish that it was longer. I wish that some of the ideas that they had, we would have been able to see it, like the big Megazord battle with all of the red. It was either supposed to be all of the red Zords or all of the Megazords fighting on the moon.
That would have been
That
awesome.
would have been crazy.
Right. Right. Instead of, that stupid toy that they had for Cole riding through Serpentera.
Yeah.
I'm like, first of all, Serpentera was like an unbeatable Zord. Like that Zord was like unstoppable. And you mean
And
to
they
tell me
shrunk it.
Yes. Exactly.
He was like a fraction of the size of what Serpentera actually was.
Exactly. And literally he just like drove right through it. I'm like, wait, what?
Is that like Cole's motorcycle that did that?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That he used like maybe once or twice.
Right. Exactly.
Just like, okay, right. This motorcycle is powerful enough to destroy Serpentera. Right. Okay. Whatever you want us to believe, fine. It's okay. That was like my only drawback for Forever Red. Other than that, the cinematography. First of all, can I just say, Wild Force to date, for me, in my opinion, Wild Force to date has some of the best cinematography and fight choreography.
Interesting.
For me. Because if you look at some of those episodes of Wild Force, especially like the team ups, that cinematography is sick. Like it is just the way they filmed it and like the way they kind of did the slow-mo and and mixed with the choreography. It's insane. Like I love it. And this is coming from a season that I notoriously do not like. But like they do have some episodes that the choreography is so freaking sick when it comes to like the way they filmed it and how they shot it and how they like slowed stuff down and like the angles they take. It's just like it was insane. I was like, I'm actually impressed. But yeah, as a whole, I was just like, I mainly just watched that season mainly for the team ups. Mainly for the team ups.
That's insane. And they had there were like a handful of good episodes in there, but when I say handful, I mean a handful. It was not very many.
Yeah.
I kind of like, that's the season that I don't know, like I'm always going back and forth on whether I want to rewatch that, because it was in that very special time period, the end of the Saban era, where they really were putting in some effort, and like storytelling wise, there were some. I think like the full arc and the ending was good.
Oh yeah, absolutely. But absolutely, it was actually really good.
Stuff in between and like the acting that hurts it for me though.
Yeah. I mean, all the stuff with Dr. Org, Master Org, all of his stuff towards the end was so good. It was so good.
That was so intriguing because it's, we're always seeing someone be redeemed, but in this case, he was just an evil bastard, and he died, and that was it. And he killed Cole's parents and had no sympathy or remorse.
None.
And that was so different for Power Rangers at that point.
Which that goes to show that Power Rangers can write good characters when they want to. Not everybody has to be redeemable at the very end, which was genius for Wild Force, in my opinion, because it was like, literally, it shows that not everybody deserves redemption. Like, it is what it is. Like, not everybody deserves that. Like, if you did something wrong, like, especially something extremely heinous, like, you deserve whatever punishment you get. Like, and normally, like, with Power Rangers as of lately, we've been seeing, I'm not saying you have to die. Now, that's not what I'm saying. Please, people, do not think that I'm saying you have to die. But, like, we're talking about somebody who literally was like, he killed someone's parents. Not only did he kill their parents, but he literally turned into a monster to destroy the entire world. Like, there should be no reason as to why they should try to save this man. Like, kill him and get it over with. But, in later seasons, if this was like a later type of season, they would have probably like tried to turn him human and then try to make him be like, I see the error of my ways. I'm sorry. And then, like, it's over. But but here it's like, it was like, no, we got to kill this bastard. Like, get him out of here. No, like, no, ain't no saving him. Kill him. And like, it is what it is. So I really enjoyed that about Wild Force. I really did. But like you said, it didn't come until the very end of the show. So it was just like, you have to wait, 30 episodes before you finally get to the good part? Pass. Next, Lena.
Mine is actually a toss-up between Dino Thunder SPD and the Lost Galaxy Space team up.
Ooh, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I really like the Lost Galaxy in space. Where obviously it was almost like a triple situation, because we had the Psycho Rangers, the Space Rangers, and then obviously the Lost Galaxy Rangers. And I just briefly actually watched a clip of it before we got on here, and I never remember how dark it was. Now that I'm looking back on it, it was like such a dark, like, I guess, season, but not in a bad way. Like, it was so good. Like, I ended with the scene where Leo just met Psycho Red, and he's like, "Who are you?" And Psycho Red's like, "You don't know who I am?" And he does the whole exorcism thing, and he's like, "I'm Psycho Red."
His head turned all the way around, like spit out some pea soup or something.
Yeah. And he's like, "I'm Psycho Red." I'm like, "Well, you're definitely psycho, that's for sure."
Like, sir.
Well, you're not wrong there. Like, and I remember thinking to myself, like, why can't the newer team ups be similar to this? Like, that storyline alone is it's already so good. Just the little things that they do just really adds to it. Like him spinning up the head. I'm like, yo, that's scary as fuck. Like I'm expecting like him to go upside down and walk on like some random ceiling that he'll find. And then of course like the Donald Thunder and SPD. That's such a good that's such a good combo. You get like the dinosaur age with the future age, and just a cute little like quirkiness and the back and forth. Like we do it better because we're from the future. We have higher tech, and where like the other guys are like, well, we're old school. Like we've been doing this way before you have, so we would know better. So it's just a good banter between the two team, obviously from two different time zone too, right? So it's like I personally really enjoyed them both. So it's definitely a toss up between those two.
Okay. All right.
And also the Kendrick's sacrificing her life for Cassie. That was like
right?
Yeah.
Like
yeah.
everything about that team up, it was just amazing. Like it's almost like its own like movie in itself, like
Yeah.
such good.
And it was a two-parter. It was a two-parter. That's something that we don't get for whatever reason anymore.
No, it's
Exactly.
two-parters with like so much detailing in it too, like not just a and I like how it kind of gets spread, so everyone sort of like what I mean, get their own story told versus the Tommy show in Dimensions in Danger.
Girl.
I love that they focused on the Pink Ranger for that.
Right.
So good.
Right.
And I just really random, and I'm sure other theme songs probably done the same thing, but I just noticed because again I was watching it right before we got started. I really appreciate that they introduce everybody out of order. Like they did Kai first, and they did Green, then they did Maya, and then no, they didn't even do Maya. They did Kai, Green, and then they did Red, and then they did Maya, and then they did Pink, and then of course they did his brother Mike, and then they add Crone at the end. So I really like how they did the introduction out of order versus having them go by color. So that was another thing I noticed, and I was like, wow, that's impressive with Lost Galaxy. Just everything.
I mean, there's a lot of things that, especially with Lost Galaxy, that I feel like just makes that season it makes that season so like a standout, and I understand that they were probably doing that because it was just coming from like the success and the hype of In Space, because you might as well say In Space basically revived the entire show.
Yeah.
So it was like we got to keep this flame going. We got to keep it going. So it was like, how can we do that? Oh, do this tragic thing with Magna Defender, and have this tragic character, be killed off. Then with unfortunately Valerie Vernon had her issues with leukemia. And it was like, well, let's go ahead and let's do something crazy, like kill her off. And it's like, what?
Yeah.
Which, I mean, we didn't know at the time, obviously. But it's like, Dad, like, you actually killed a Ranger. Like, those types of things made that show just an unbelievable standout. Like, at that time, it was like, you couldn't get no better than that. And it just kept just getting better. And better. Well, trying to get better anyway.
Well, that's
so that's the kind of stuff that we want.
Yep.
Totally.
Mm-hmm. So I agree. I actually agree with you on that one.
The theme song got you going.
Okay.
Right.
First of all, that theme song was lit. I don't care what nobody says. The instrumental by itself, not even the singing, but the instrumental. I was like, because I remember I was working out in the gym. I think I hit you guys in the chat with this. Like, I was working out in the gym. And like I normally play like different Power Rangers songs, and like I have like on my playlist I have like the Zeo songs, like the Zeo fight songs, like Big Bang, and like a whole bunch of other just random songs, 541, just like random songs
I
that I
love
worked
how
out
like
to.
that's like our workout theme songs. Mine. So like so
Listen, I have to keep myself hyped, okay? Like,
so like
you know.
Travis doesn't know this, but I used to wrestle, right? And so right before every match, I would literally play what's it called, Power Rangers Jungle Fury, just to get hype.
Oh wow.
That's amazing.
Such a good song.
I love it.
It's such a good song, and I'm like, yes, yes. And of course, when it ended is was when I'm up, right? Well, at least I would hope, because the match before me always took forever.
I love it.
Yeah, Jungle
I love
Fury was
it. I
definitely
love
such
it.
a good one. Oh my god, love Jungle Fury. Brenda's new Jungle Fury. Was it? No. What is yours?
Dino Fury.
Dino Fury. That's gonna be my new workout song.
I love it. I cannot.
If y'all don't know what we're talking about,
I was gonna say like.
go to our
No,
Instagram.
I was gonna say like it's funny to me that like these songs are just so like they're actually being intertwined in our own lives.
Right?
I just find that so funny. Like, you wouldn't think that like these theme songs would like carry like that, but they do. Like
They do,
especially if they're good.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
But
my episode. My episode would be the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers meets Mask Rider. It's like
wow.
I'm just playing.
really?
Are you serious?
I'm just playing.
Really?
I knew that would get on y'all nerves. I knew it would get on y'all nerves. No. No, that's not my favorite. That's not my favorite. I was just playing.
Nah, he's like, psych, that is my favorite.
Like, no, that's not my favorite. But no, like actually, like one of my favorite ones for me was the team up with Time Force and Lightspeed Rescue.
Oh,
That's
Really?
a good one.
Yes, I love that one. I actually loved it. I love that one a lot. And it's just mainly just because, like, first of all, we had the reprise of Vipra, and Vipra is like, she's notoriously known for being bad, but in her part, like, I don't know what it was, but when she came back, it was just funny to me when she came back.
I don't think that was the intention.
It wasn't obvious. Definitely wasn't the intention. But I loved it for that reason. Like, it made me love it. I don't know why.
I like her makeup.
Right? Her, like, honestly, I think that's how her makeup should have been the entire time, to be honest. I mean, the dead look with the empty eyes, like, that joke was that was dope. I loved it. But no, like but really what I really liked about it was I liked how, first of all, they brought back the little crystal things that she had to steal, because that was the thing from Lightspeed Rescue. That was a plot from Lightspeed Rescue. And they brought that back in. And then also, like I said, they brought her back. And then also just the fight scene by itself, like the fight scene with the two Rangers, with two sets of Rangers, I felt like that choreography was very well handled. I just love that choreography. What?
The very well, you know what? Are you going to talk about the rest of the fight scene, or are you done with that part?
Oh no, go ahead. What were you going to say about the fight scene?
Oh man, the last part of the fight scene, it was a toy commercial, because all the boys got in their battleizers and they hit the monsters. It was like, I want to say like 4 monsters maybe. they hit them with one shot and then they just exploded, and it was like a little tiny explosion, and then they won. I thought that looked so bad.
It's like,
Yes, exactly. Oh man,
that explosion literally went boom.
It was a cool visual of seeing all the battleizers together, but like, damn, that was like cheap.
First of all, they probably time and budget. First of all, they were probably like, "Look, we over budget. We can't afford no big explosion, so we gonna make this real cute." Boom, and call it a day. Okay, that's what kind of explosion y'all gonna get. Boom, not no kaboom, none of that. We ain't gonna get that. Y'all just gonna get boom, and that's all y'all need. That's all you need. But not like for real. Like I thought it was cool. I actually enjoyed it. I actually really did enjoy it, and I like that because I really do like Lightspeed Rescue. Mm-hmm. I like actually seeing them come back with the actual with Time Force, which was like one of my all time favorite teams. So like to see them actually come back with them and to see how like they all advanced and they were living their own lives, and I loved how Joel was just like, man, look, I'm trying to enjoy my honeymoon with my wife. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to enjoy my time, and y'all calling me, wanting to come and fight. I ain't got time. I ain't got time for this.
I like that. I really like that they did that. It really, it really showed a real life, you know what I mean? Like a real life, I guess, well, not real life situation, obviously, but like a real
reaction.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I did like about Lightspeed Rescue is that they showed Power Rangers more in like adult roles, which is
right.
How it was kids.
Yeah, that's something that I really appreciated about Lightspeed Rescue. I think that's why I liked them so much, was because it was like you're looking at actual adults. Right. Like it's like this is how adults would be Power Rangers. And it's like, yeah, they want to enjoy their lives. They want to like, even though this is a part of their work, because basically you might as well say they were like working. Like they just weren't like, oh yeah, we're just saving the world secretly, shh. We're just saving the world. No, like they were employed. They're like, this is our job. We are employed. This is what we do. So of course it's like, I need a break. Like I ain't got time. So like I get it. And I really enjoyed that about Lightspeed Rescue. So I guess that's why I really like that season. And like I said, just seeing them come back with the Time Force Rangers was just like, I actually enjoy this. Like it was really cool. Like now, and the fight choreography, I love that. But now, like you said, the last part with the little boom explosion and the toys, basically, that part could have been a little bit better. But as a whole, I thought it was good. I liked it.
And they brought back all of the Lightspeed Rangers, including Titanium. Unlike oh my goodness, unlike the In Space Return and the Lost Galaxy Return. Right. Yeah, because we didn't have Zane or Mike for those ones. I guess we wouldn't have had Mike since he lost his powers.
I mean, to be fair, you didn't really need Zane either, because like we didn't have the Green Psycho Ranger, so Zane was not needed.
Well, yeah, but Mike was fighting, I want to say Deviant maybe in that, so Zane could have been doing that with him.
He could have.
I was so confused when he wasn't there.
Maybe he was back frozen again.
Right.
I guess we just don't know what happened to him. Yeah.
You know what? I always wonder what happened to his relationship with Crone.
True.
Did they always have, like, right? They had a thing for each other, and then like it just stopped after 2 episodes, or was it just the one?
Mm-hmm. Well, it was the one. It was just. Did they hint towards it after?
I don't really think so.
No.
And it was just kind of like they just dropped it. It was like once she got stood up and she was pissed.
Right.
It was like she still kind of liked him, but it was just kind of like, I like you, but I'd rather kill you instead. And then like shortly after that, that's when she became like cyborg astronomer.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. See, so it was just like,
well, when she
there
became,
was no point to carry that story.
No. For when she became cyborg, like I understood that because it's almost like her memory got erased of all the good stuff, and she became more evil. So that part made sense. But I guess like when she turned good, was when I was like, oh, I'm surprised they're not revisiting that because, like, when she turned good, obviously what she liked before would have still been there. Maybe I don't know.
It would have been. It would have been kind of awkward if Zane asked her out on a date as soon as she got turned back. But Zane doesn't have like a filter, so maybe that would be
right.
Like on brand for him.
Right. And then on top of that, I mean, like, Justin did admit that he would love to have Astronema and save babies around.
He did now. He did.
Right? No, but I didn't actually think of that because of what he said. But like, on a serious note, I did consider that. I'm like, I'm surprised he never revisited that idea after she became, like, good again, you know? Like, that it just never was brought up again.
I mean, I guess since they didn't bring him back, I guess they weren't thinking like, oh, let's have her mention him and what's the status of their thing. They weren't even thinking about him, unfortunately.
Poor guy.
The powers that be.
Well, I mean, we all know that a lot of them don't even remember half the crap they write anyway. I mean, just with Kendall, Judlyn forgot literally that there was a character named Kendrix Morgan. And was just like, oh shoot, I didn't even remember that. You know,
I mean, I'm not saying that that's not a big deal, but that's a lot of surnames to remember.
Nah, I mean, literally the girl's name is Kendall Morgan.
Yeah. And on top of that, it's not hard to make a reference to it because it is your own writing. You can easily go back and like double check.
Exactly.
They don't. Good point. They don't.
I mean, if you're going to be trying to make references to past seasons, it would make sense to go, hey, maybe we need to visit some of these names. If we're not trying to say that these people are related, we might need to double check these names. Make sure that they haven't been. But of course, Power Rangers has a really bad job of just going back and just pulling out names.
And you know what? They even have to go back like that. All they have to do is Google Power Rangers and Wikipedia will show you.
Right.
That's true.
This is very true. But I mean,
I don't know. I definitely wish that they'll reference stuff from Power Rangers past, but they don't really go in depth with it, or they'll go in depth with like certain things that we might not care about, like a throwaway line, but they don't really go for it, and that's a missed opportunity. We've all talked about that before.
Yeah,
absolutely. Like that whole throwaway line in Ninja Steel that people were just going crazy over when Cosmo Royale was like, oh, Altarian Silk. I'm like, just because he mentioned Eltar, people are like freaking out, like, oh my God, Eltar has been mentioned. It's a throwaway line, people. It's a throwaway line.
And something like that, like, how have we never been to Eltar?
We've never been.
Especially during the Zordon era, you would have thought that we would have seen it, but we still haven't. And there's so many other planets that we have not either gone to at all or we haven't revisited in like 20 years. And why? I don't get it.
You think KO-35 is being rebuilt?
Right.
Yeah. Like, we've been to so many different planets, but the main ones that, that we should be visiting or should be remembering, it's like, nah, they're all right. Now, Eltar might be destroyed. They never really gave the fate of Eltar. Once, Zordon got captured, they never really gave the fate of it. And plus, I do have a question. I have questions. because they kidnapped Zordon. Is Alpha 5 still alive?
That's what I want to know.
Oh yeah, he was in the box.
Well, yeah, remember?
No, that was Alpha 6.
Oh, was that Alpha 6?
That was Alpha 6?
Oh, that was Alpha 6.
So what happened to Alpha 5?
How the hell did that happen when Alpha 6 had a relationship with the Lost Galaxy Rangers? They really just put him in a box?
And shipped him back to Angel Grove?
Yeah. And then, that's terrible.
Well, my question is, how
we gonna throw your ass in this box and send you back, bitch. We ain't got time.
Well, see, here, my question is, how did Alpha, like, agree for that to happen?
Right. Maybe he malfunctioned and they thought he was broken or something. Because it seemed like they cared for him. Remember, Leo was like freaking out when he got blown away when they had to self-destruct the megaship. So I think they cared for him. Maybe they thought that he was inoperable. I would hope that.
I mean, I don't know. Like, I don't think it was if anything happened to Alpha, was it 5 or 6 we were talking about here?
It was Alpha 6. Yeah.
Okay, so if anything happened to, I don't think the Lost Galaxy Rangers had anything to do with it. If anything, I feel like they all just kind of forgot him when they went along with their lives. When, like, Kendricks came back.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Like, Marinoi was rebuilt again. I think they genuinely just forgot about him. If anything, that would make more sense.
See a lot of him.
Yeah, because
we didn't see a ton of him that season.
No, so if anything, that would be the case. I could see that.
Yeah, the original question, though, this is my own headcanon. I'm going to say that Alpha 7 from Forever Red was Alpha 5 just because he had the same voice. Like, maybe something happened to him. Something definitely had to happen to him when he was on Eltar with Zordon. And then maybe he got broken up like he does in the comics. And then he was repaired, but like since he had new parts and stuff, they just named him Alpha 7. That's my headcanon. Because I don't want to think of Alpha just being murdered. That like hurts my heart.
I'm sorry, but in my headcanon, Alpha 5 is dead. Like, he's dead. They annihilated his behind and was like, we're going to use his head as a coffee pot and call it a day. Like,
yeah, which I think that probably did. Yeah, unfortunately, I think that
I feel like that's what happened.
Oh.
And that's what's happened.
That's
terrible.
I mean, but it makes sense, though, because it's like, I mean, he was with Zordon when he got captured, and basically, like, Eltar was under attack. So it's like, obviously, if they're gonna attack the whole planet and take it down, like, you know, they weren't gonna waste no time trying to get rid of no Alpha. It was like, oh please, boom, blow his little behind up. I'm like, oh, you're done. Bye.
I wonder what the hell happened to the robot Rangers who were the Turbo Rangers. Because they were on Eltar. I guess they're dead. Maybe.
No, I was actually thinking that those Rangers was the Rangers that popped up on the legendary battle.
I thought
that's who I thought the Turbo Rangers were.
Yeah. I guess that would make sense. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought those were the robot Rangers. Because it would make sense.
Which once again, why the hell didn't we ever revisit that? They could have that they had multiple ways of doing a Turbo and in space reunion. One of them could have been trying to get some of the Turbo actors back, the original ones, or they could have just used the Robot Rangers. But
they could have. And I mean, it would have been an easier way of bringing back Justin instead of, making him, making his Mountain Blaster just have this random Turbo Morpher just readily available, which made absolutely no sense. It was just like, how was the powers destroyed? But you had this one little Turbo Morpher just sitting right there, waiting. Like,
obviously, Storm Blaster had a backup.
Like, that made no sense. I'm like, why is this random Morpher just sitting here?
And where was Stormblaster
when
this whole
you could have
time?
used it. Right.
Like,
right.
where was he parked?
Wait, where was who?
Stormblaster, where was he parked?
He got kidnapped.
But they got kidnapped. Yeah.
Oh, right.
Him and Lightning Cruiser.
Lightning Cruiser, yeah.
They got kidnapped. But that would have meant that TJ would have had another
Another
Morpher there as
Morphers,
well.
yeah.
I guess he
So-
didn't look at it until Forever Red, or for
Well,
the Lightning Cruiser didn't open his glove compartment and show it to him.
Exactly.
Like, hey girl, I forgot. My bad.
maybe,
Oops.
maybe they all had a backup. Like, all those cars had a backup.
They never explained it.
They never explained it, right? So they could all
Never.
actually have a backup when you think about it.
Well,
It's-
I mean, red and blue. They're the only ones who had backups. 'Cause
Obviously,
that
they were
would've
smart enough.
basically- Yeah, I mean, it would have left out poor little Carlos, Ashley, and Cassie, but
I mean,
at least Justin and TJ could morph.
I mean, who really wanted Carlos back anyways?
Oops. Well,
I mean,
well, I can't disagree with you there.
you know. I mean, who really wanted him back
disagree.
anyways? So,
Because
you know.
I mean, because all he was going to do was complain about how he was useless anyway. So I mean, it was
About what? How he what?
He was useless.
how he was useless.
Oh.
Because I mean, that was pretty much his. Like, this man complained about how useless he was every season he was in. The first time in Turbo, he complained that he was gonna quit the soccer team because old dude he thought he tripped old dude, and then he was like, "I'm just gonna give up." Okay, Carlos.
I forgot.
Then in space, he accidentally hit Cassie. And then he's like, I'm going to give up being a Power Ranger. I'm useless. Like, boy, get it together. Like, good grief. Like, it was an accident. The girl then said, look, we good. Like, it's okay. You know, we make mistakes. You accidentally hit me. It's fine. No, I hit you, and I suck as a Ranger. You know what? With that attitude, you do. So,
So,
Was that when Adam came back?
yeah.
Thank God.
Which he saved that episode because that episode was like literally going to be a train wreck without him coming in.
Yeah. Adam came
It
back.
was so good to see him again.
It was
man.
so good.
Love
Oh
that
my
one.
God. I remember I screamed because I loved Adam. I love Adam with all my heart. Love.
I still remember, like, I freaked out because oh man, like being without Adam for a year after having him around for so long was hard. So him
Well,
coming
imagine
back,
my
that
little
was
heart.
awesome.
I loved Adam.
No,
I
Adam,
screamed.
like, he was sick in that episode, especially when he had that broken morpher and he still kicked ass
I know.
with a broken morpher.
I
Great.
know.
I'm like, see, this is a Power Ranger right here.
Yep.
This dude had a whole broken morpher that could have killed him,
Yep.
and he still kicked ass. And here you are with 4 powers. 4 powers.
And
And
whining.
you tripping.
And whining about not being a good ranger.
Whining. Straight whining. I'm like, yo, like, Adam would be like, yo, like, can we drop Carlos for like 2.5 seconds and like get Adam to go ahead and become the Space Ranger real
I think
quick?
I might have thought that because I was just so happy to have Adam back.
Oh, I love Adam.
Like, I would have loved for him to come back. Like,
Love.
just get Carlos out of the way. Like, get him. Move
Love.
out of
He
the way.
didn't want to leave anyway.
Like, just like, what are you doing? I mean, he turned in his stuff and everything. Like, I'm done, guys. Like, are you serious? Like, he literally quit. Like,
And-
he literally quit being a ranger. Are you kidding me? Like, just because you made a mistake?
But it also goes to show
Bruh.
where his priorities were at, too. And his priorities was definitely not about saving the planet. Definitely not about keeping the people
Yeah.
safe.
Yeah, like it was made like it felt like every time he I feel like every time he did that, it was just a testament of just like how just how selfish he was.
Yeah.
Like, he was a very selfish person because it's like, dude, I understand you're in your feelings, like you made a mistake, it's cool. But if the person is that you made a mistake on literally was like, yo, it's an accident, like it's all good. Like, get out your feelings, dude. Like, shit happens. Like, it's not that deep. But he's like, I could have killed her. Oh man. Like, but you didn't. And she even accepted your apology. So why are you tripping? Why are you tripping? Why? But that was Carlos. And like I said, if Adam wouldn't have came, it would have been that episode would have been a complete train wreck. So it was just like, thank goodness Adam came in. Johnny Bosch came in and did what he normally does, which is save the show. And it was all good. It was all good. So
And show us his sexy
I
mix.
do want to ask y'all.
Yes.
I do want to ask y'all though. Now, we mentioned a couple. We mentioned a couple of team ups, right? But I do want to know how do y'all feel about some of these team ups? Like, for example, how do y'all feel about the legendary battle? Because we did mention it, right? I do want to know how y'all feel about that.
Total missed opportunity. I can't believe how much they like how lackluster that was. Like what? Like really? To have that be the series' 20th anniversary, you would think that they would go all out, and they just completely drop the ball. Like to hear the behind the scenes stuff about the invitations that they sent out that were misspelled and grammar issues. Who they sent them out to. I think they might have rescinded some, right?
Yeah. They were like, oh yeah, we did send this to you, but you know what? Nah, we'll pass. Yeah, they did that to a couple of them.
Yeah, so it's like, and then the actual episode, you would have thought that the people that came back would have maybe gotten some character stuff, but nope.
Like I think even some of the samurais, not that we love that season, but like I know Brittany and Hector came back, but they said nothing whatsoever.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Wow.
Like they were just there. They said
allegedly, from what I heard, they actually had a scene that they filmed, but it was cut out.
And
from what I heard,
I would have loved to see where the relationship was. Because
that was a thing, right?
At the end of the season, they were obviously going off together to, I don't know, I guess whatever it is that they were gonna do. I think they were traveling the world or something like that. It was super cute. Like, I know Samurai wasn't a very good season for a lot of people, and it wasn't a great season, but I think I personally really liked it, only because it was like, oh my god, like another season of Power Rangers, right? And so I remember watching that one thoroughly, and I really liked the ending for all the Rangers. It was a very good send off.
And be honest, you only liked it because of Hector.
I mean, I am not denying that.
He was the only one that I liked.
I'm not denying that.
I liked him and I liked Antonio, but
I can live without Antonio. He was all right.
I couldn't. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I couldn't. No, absolutely not. That Fantastico irked my nerves.
Yeah, I didn't like that, but I liked his acting.
I couldn't. No. Fantastico! I'm like, oh God.
Yeah.
Save me.
I can live without him. Yeah.
I couldn't. No. And that poor baby, that poor Kevin. Oh Lord.
Oh my God.
What about you? What do you think, Travis?
I just couldn't.
Yeah, I have nothing to stay there.
I couldn't. No. And like, what was so crazy about Samurai was that they had a team up too, and it was awful.
Who do they have a team up with?
Oh, that bothered me so much.
Clash of the Red Rangers when they brought back RPM Red.
Oh yeah, we were just talking about that, Lena.
And he couldn't actually be on screen, and he had to use an alias for the voiceover he did.
Please explain to us, Brandon. Explain to us what happened. Why he couldn't be Scott.
Because basically what it is like when Ika Darville came over to the States, he was a SAG member. So when you're SAG, basically the show was non-union at the time. So when you're SAG, basically there's certain restrictions when you're in the union, and one of those restrictions are you can't work on non-union stuff. So with Power Rangers being non-union, the only way that you can get around that is by using aliases. But that's why that Tobias name that he had, that's why he was using that name, because he couldn't actually put down his real name. Because had he did, he would have gotten in trouble. Not only that, but he couldn't show his face either. So that was the reason why why the actual Scott couldn't be there, but they could still use his voice.
So, question about that. So, I thought that for voiceover stuff, the SAG rules were different.
It is. That's why he could do it, because hold on. I know with acting, I'm not so well. Let me rephrase that.
Or is it just with animated stuff?
It could be with animated, because I know with acting, you can't. That's why he was able to use his voice on the show. Mm-hmm. That's why he was able to do that. He just couldn't appear in person, because that Tobias person, we know it's Ika, but he could say that's not me. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Okay.
So, he could easily just slide under the radar. But had he actually showed up on the actual screen, he definitely would have been in trouble.
Okay.
Right.
Okay, so there you go, Travis. That got our answer.
Yeah, he would have been in trouble. So that's why it was like, nah, let's just have him just kind of pop up. And I mean, that's kind of what I wish would happen with the new team up that's going to be coming up with Beast Morphers. I kind of wish that would happen. With them just kind of bringing back the old actors just to kind of use their voices, because most of the old actors are now SAG. So it would be cool for them just to pop in anyway and just be like, hey guys, you hear our voices, so that we're here, but not actually be there. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That would be cool. But
that would be insane that would be insane if that happened.
Yo, that would be so cool, but Power Rangers is not that hasn't been that cool in a while to do cool stuff like that. So yeah. But we were talking about Clash of the Red Rangers. And I have to say, y'all, is that me? Or was that just completely wasted? The whole thing was just it was just why is this even a show? They didn't even have to bring him back for that. They just could have went ahead and said, you know what? Just shell the whole idea.
Well, not even just that, but they could have brought back any of the other Rangers.
Any of them.
Hell,
bring back Dr. Kate.
I mean, not that we didn't mind having, Eka's voice there. His voice is very sexy. But, it could have been anyone.
Ooh. Ooh. Okay, Lena.
I mean, have you heard his accent?
Okay, girl.
I don't.
Oh my god!
I don't even remember. I remember he came in on a train, and then I remember him being like dumbfounded at how the Samurai Rangers were living and just like in disbelief, and that's like it. And I remember a horse, but that's about it.
A horse.
I think I only watched the clips where his character was in. I didn't watch the full episode. Was it a two-parter?
No.
Yeah, it was a two.
Was
no,
it?
it was a two-parter.
Was it?
It was.
How did that
How
get
did-
a two?
How did that get a two-parter?
Oh,
Two-parter.
What?
It was a two-parter. Yeah, because it was like almost a full movie.
Because he
It was
wasn't
like a movie
physically
thing.
there. That's probably why.
Yeah, like this was like a big thing.
What?
The way they advertised Clash of the Red Rangers, that was like a big thing.
So
Mhm.
this gets a two-parter, but like Legacy War and Dimensions in Danger only gets one part?
Right, exactly.
And they both
Girl.
had Tommy in it.
Oh,
Girl.
fuck Tommy at this point. Ah!
Actually, Clash of the Red Rangers was 45 minutes. So basically, if you add in commercial breaks, it was like an hour. It was an hour episode. Well, hour, yeah. So it was like It was a two-part. I want to say it was a two-parter, yeah. But
Oh.
basically, it was like a movie. Like a
My
TV
mind
movie.
is exploding right now. Like, that was a two-parter?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
Mm-hmm. Yep, it
that's-
was a whole hour. And we can't even get an hour on Dimensions in Danger and in the Legendary Battle. But here we are. Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
The foolery. I know. Girl, I'm trying to tell you. Like, oh, how we have mightily fallen.
I don't understand.
Oh, how the mighty have fallen.
I don't understand.
Like, but I will. But let's go back. Let's take it back for a second. Let's take it back, right? Now, I did mention one of them, and like, well, I mentioned it, but I just want to get y'all opinions on it if you remember it. The Mighty Morphin Power Rangers with Mask Rider. Like, how do y'all feel about that? I mean, like, I know Will hates it, but like,
Honestly,
like overall, like, how y'all feel?
I could have been
I
without.
personally don't.
The whole team up, that could have been without.
I personally don't consider it canon.
Ouch.
To me, the the beginning of season 3 is the Ninja Quest.
Dang. So you just completely just like cut all that out completely.
I mean, I don't blame him. I forgot that even happened until you brought it up today.
Yes,
Yeah.
in here.
Like the best for me. I sometimes I feel salty when Kimberly wasn't a part of missions in season 3, and I kind of felt like it there. But at least she was able to like handle some business on her own with the flu. That was kind of cool. But I didn't really like that two-parter.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie to you. I actually, that was like the best part for me of that two-parter was the fact that we had Kimberly, being sick and still was able to like kick butt. Which I'm like, for me, that put her like at like a totally different level. This girl had the flu.
Yeah.
And she still kicked ass. And I'm like, yo, like, I got mad respect for Kimberly. Like, hella respect for her. But, like, yeah, that two-parter, for me, well, three-parter, actually. That three-parter.
Oh, wow.
It was 3 parts. A Friend in Need was 3 parts.
Wow.
I understand what they were trying to do because they were trying to bring the Masked Rider to the States. So I get it. It was kind of like his own little spin-off episode to try to promote that episode.
They did do very well.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you, Lena. Like, it just, the way they set it up, it was just like they were aiming for Count Dragon, which I mean that name would be almost later used in Power Rangers Ninja Steel Dimensions in Danger. I mean the name sounds so vaguely alike, but Count Dragon basically, was like, oh yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and destroy Edenoi, but you know what? Let's follow the Power Rangers back to Earth. And it's like, but you're just gonna abandon your whole mission on destroying Edenoi? Because you was there to get the gas from the planet so you can destroy it. But then when the Power Rangers came, you like, nah, let's go to Earth. Like, that whole thing didn't make sense. Like, nothing about it to me made sense. It was like, so, okay, the Rangers left. Go ahead and finish the destruction of Edenoi. Just go ahead and get rid of it. Like, what are you doing? But no, they decided, you know what? Let's just go ahead and go to Earth, and that's why they had, to start the whole Mask Rider thing. But I don't know. For me, like you said, that three-parter, excuse me. It should have never happened. it should have never happened.
Clearly, it didn't happen for us.
Well, yeah, according to y'all, like it didn't happen. So I mean, but yeah, but I will say they did have an American Zord battle, which I can't lie, it was actually entertaining to watch.
Right,
and y'all know I hate Zord battles. Y'all know I hate Zord battles, and I
do too at this point. Yeah,
but
that was really cool. Yeah,
that was a cool Zord battle.
They had redid the Zord roll call footage with American footage. That was cool. I think they might have even re-recorded the audio. Maybe.
I think they did actually. I think they did. Yeah. So I mean, I have to give them credit. Like there were certain things in there that was kind of cute. Like I was like, okay, but for the most part, could have had a V8. But it was cute. I feel the same way about the Power Rangers Dio versus with the Alien Rangers. I feel the same way about that one. It didn't happen, but I
actually like that one.
I didn't. I did. That was like one of the episodes in Zio that I did not like.
Wow.
I did not like it.
I remember actually thoroughly enjoying it. I liked them calling out can't be in a Mary Sue. and then her horrible bag turned into a monster, and then the monster was like indestructible. I actually really liked that.
Like, damn, what kind of material you made out that bag, Cat? I mean, good grief. That girl said, this bag may be ugly, but it's bulletproof. But no, like honestly, I didn't like it. I did not like that team up. I'm gonna be honest. I didn't like it, and the reason why I didn't like the episode was because that was the departure of Billy.
Oh, that was like my main, and that too. He got his exit, even though it probably, if everything was on the up and up, that probably wouldn't have happened, or at least it would have happened differently.
Right. I mean, they had him literally turn into an old behind man. And you had this old man sitting there for the whole episode. And then you had him standing behind this screen at the very end. Like, hi, guys. And that you could tell that wasn't his voice.
It was just a still photo, too.
Yeah. I'm just like, what the heck? Like, no, I was not pleased. I'm not going to lie to you. I wasn't. It did nothing for me, unfortunately. But it was great to have the Alien Rangers come back with their distorted voices, like they were talking underwater, gargling. That was cute, but for the most part, I wasn't a fan. I was like, I could have done without this. I really could have.
I wish they didn't have the whole gargle voice. I wish they just talked normally. Because, like, they were on Earth.
That too.
You know what I mean? Like, they were on Earth. It wasn't like they were underwater or anything like that. I understood that they were back at home.
I would think that there's probably water like in their like somewhere in their in their diaphragm or something that makes them
Come
sound
on.
like
Nemo
that.
spoke properly.
They're also from an alien water planet, so
Exactly.
with their fish heads. That's so weird.
That mess look crazy. That mess look mad crazy. First of all, I'd have been mad as hell if I would have had to wear that mask. I'm like, y'all want me to wear what? Excuse me? With them tight behind spandex purple pants? No, absolutely not. Y'all are not about to suffocate my twig and berries. No, not happening. Not a fan. I was just not a fan of the Alien Rangers. I'm just gonna put that out there. I wasn't a fan of them.
Me neither.
So that team up in Zeo just was like, y'all bringing them back? I thought I was done with them. And y'all gonna bring these mugs back to me? Oh, no, I can't do this. I can't. No, I just wasn't a fan of them.
Did it show them unmorphed in that episode?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, only Delphine and the black
Destro.
one. Yes, Destro.
The blue one that's
Jesus,
black.
That's so rude. Yes. Yes, the blue one that's black. Which, first of all, I just love the fact that these aliens actually had races. That's the black one. Yes. but no, like, but it's so funny though, because they didn't have an Asian one or a Latino one, and it was just like, oh, okay, all right, fine, whatever, I guess. But no, like, honestly, like, I don't know, like, I just didn't like that team up at all. I wasn't a fan. Yeah, and then like after that, the team up stopped. Until like we got the Turbo and the one with Justin and the space one, and then like right after that, that's when we got Lost Galaxy.
How do y'all feel about the Justin one?
I liked it. It was I thought it was a decent episode. Like I always say, for the people that have been listening to us for a while, I never had an issue with Justin as a kid, so
I thought
it was cool. I thought it was cool seeing him again, and the episode in and of itself wasn't offensive at all. I enjoyed it.
I did. Like I said, with my opinion with the Alien Rangers was the same with Justin. I thought I was done with you. And then you pop back up on my TV screen. And I'm like, sir, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? No, get away. No.
I mean, we thought we left him on Earth when they went to space.
Hello. And then he come back with this bowl cut.
Well.
And I love how when they did come back to Earth, they did try to visit Justin.
All right.
I'm surprised
wow,
his daddy left him at another shelter. Because you know his daddy was unreliable.
Well, I mean, it doesn't matter. I mean, like, remember, they're supposed to be friends with Justin, right? So if you came back to Earth, they came back to Earth very often. They didn't want to try to go find Justin.
This is true.
Especially
This is true.
You know, like,
I thought about that at the time.
I remember thinking that. I'm like, wait, they're on Earth. Why do they not find Justin? Like, why did they have to make this whole grand gesture saying goodbye and you know, have him look at them as the rocket space, you know, shoots into the out of the atmosphere and they're saying goodbye, Justin. And they're on Earth like every other day. Like Andros and Ashley had a date on Earth.
I mean, you got a good point. Like I can't dispute this. Like you make a very good point.
You know, like remember they had school that they had to go back to Earth for and took a test and everything. There was no Justin. Did he skip a couple grades? And I swear they went to the same school. Did they not?
It was definitely still Angel Grove High. Yeah, you're right.
Dang, how didn't I notice that? Wow.
Yep. They totally went back to Angel Grove High.
Yeah. And Justin was
we just
nowhere to be found.
Yeah, and we just never. It always was confusing why we never saw them graduate because I actually forgot that they were still at Angel Grove High during In Space, and I just assumed that they just left home and dropped out of school.
Wait, you know what? No. It would make sense, Lena. It would make sense. I just remembered. It did make sense because Justin. The reason why Justin's dad came back. The reason why we didn't see Justin at Angel Grove High was because his dad came back and was like he has to move. So he ended up moving out of Angel Grove. So that's why he wasn't at Angel Grove High, and that's why they didn't see him. That's the reason.
Good on you, phone.
I remember. I had to actually think about it for a second. I was like, wait a minute, like
But
that's
still,
a good point. But then I'm like, no.
But still, they were on Earth, and you know they were on Earth, and they could have easily
They had
found
stuff to do.
Yeah, like go on dates and stuff, you know.
Oh yeah, then okay, all right. I thought you were just talking about like the first time they went back to Earth, but yeah. Unless it happened off screen, you never know.
I mean, you know that doesn't count if it happens off screen.
Well, unless they mention it.
I think it happened off screen.
Right.
Okay, because I mean, we all know. It's like if it ain't happen on screen, it ain't happen. Especially with this show.
Nope.
If we ain't seen it, it ain't happened. But I don't know. Like that was one thing that I was just kind of like when he popped up, it annoyed me because I was just like, even if you just here for one episode, at that time in my life, I didn't like him. So I'm like, well, like I don't want to see you anymore. So why are you back?
I mean,
like I feel like honestly, I feel like when you mentioned the Robot Rangers, that would have been a perfect time if they did want to bring the actor back, bring him back with those pretenses. I feel like the storyline should have been different. If they were going to bring back the Turbo Rangers, actually bring back like the Robot Rangers. You know what I'm saying? Like bring them back. And then it would have been more cooler, in my opinion. It would have been like, oh, okay, that's dope. And then they could have intertwined it with like, you know, them fighting on Eltar, you know, and they lost the battle and they had some remorse because they ended up losing Zordon. Oh God, I'm writing the show. Oh my goodness, I should be a writer on Power Rangers. Anyway, but no, like a storyline like that would have been cool, and then you could have gave the actors, Selwyn and you know that cast, you could have gave them dual roles where they could have been playing themselves, and they didn't have to pay extra actors. The only one they would have had to pay was Justin, well Blake.
Yeah,
they just could have had to pay him to come back, and that was it. But I mean, the other actors, they're still there.
This is true now.
I mean, it would have been a win-win.
This is very true.
But no.
Nope.
They want to make stuff difficult. Over it.
Oh.
But I mean, we did. We forgot one, y'all. We forgot one of the best ones. How could we forget this one? Time Force and Wild Force.
Oh my God! For a split second,
when Jen Scott came back with the leather. Yes.
Yeah, I thought you were joking at first. I totally forgot. Oh my God. Baby, yes, that was one of the greatest. Yes.
Like that was one of the best scenes in Power Rangers history. This girl,
like when Jen alone, that's what made it So epic. Oh.
Okay. Then she
that
ended up pulling all these gymnastics flips and the monster shooting and missing her, and she doing backflips and cartwheels. Like, baby, that mess was bomb. And then she had to do the whole spin with the hair because you know she had extensions. And
Long
she
ones,
threw
too.
them extensions around, honey, and she shot that big behind rifle. Baby, you could not tell me Jen wasn't bad. I said, ooh.
So badass.
Yeah.
So badass.
And it was just a great character in general too.
She
Yes.
really is. She really is.
I wish she would have more female leads.
Yeah, we still haven't. I feel like, for like an entire season, we usually don't.
Right. Exactly.
I can't even remember. Like, we had Lauren and Samurai, but she was there for a handful of episodes, if that.
And
Maybe like
she
3.
didn't really even take charge when she was there.
And Delphine and Alien Rangers as well. But
Right.
that was a little while as well.
Yeah.
And then I think Taylor from Wild Force, she originally was the leader and she was like second in command, but still the closest we've got was Jen, and they haven't done it since.
Well, I mean, honestly, you might as well say Taylor ran that team because Cole was just. Don't get me started on Cole. Like, I have pretty much a hate love relationship with Cole. Like, I'm not a fan of that character. So I always say Taylor ran Wild Force. Like, Taylor ran that team. Period. Because every time they turn around, Cole was trying to sense org heartbeats and shit, and I'm just like, honey, listen, they're monsters. Stop it. Like, stop trying to hear everybody's heartbeat. Like, oh, they're still good on the inside. Shut up. Oh.
He was so annoying with that.
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
So annoying.
I just couldn't.
Oh my goodness. I was gonna say, well, I guess this wouldn't work because it's a kid's show that's centered around boys, but women have become marketable. So you would think Power Rangers might join the wave, but I guess when it comes to toys, little girls probably aren't going to buy the Power Rangers toys. Unfortunately, I hate the way that they base the shows, like as far as on toy sales, on what's going to sell toys instead of just making a show.
Well, I mean, also too, largely that also is based on Japan as well. Japan just is marketable is like that in Japan too, especially in Japan because it's such a male-driven society. They're not going to have but so many times a woman run the team, and even then, Red always is the one that is like, I'm gonna pilot the Zord, even though you run the team. I'm still going to pilot the Zord. I'm still going to get the upgrades. I'm still going to be badass. But yeah, on paper, you run the team. But technically, I run this. That's just how it goes, unfortunately. But I do feel like at least with Time Force, they did give Jen a lot more to do than her Japanese counterpart. So I will give Power Rangers that in that regard. They did give Jen a lot more to do than Yuri, unfortunately. Because Yuri was just kind of there. I mean, she had some cute little scenes, but for the most part, yeah.
I figured that it would have been exactly the same because I've heard that it's basically Time Force was basically Time Ranger.
Yeah, I mean, in a sense, yeah, that's exactly true. It is, but there were some liberties that they did take that really made Jen's character stand out a lot versus Yuri and Time Ranger. So I will give them that, because Yuri and Time Ranger, the only big parts that she had was when she was fighting against Dawn, which is the short, fat alien mutant thing that didn't have nothing to do in Time Force except for just stand there and be dumb. That was the actual main bad guy in Time Ranger.
Gotcha.
So it was just like, we just totally demoted him to like a dumb character in Time Force, but in the actual Japanese version, he was like the main boss. Crazy. But yeah, he that was her biggest part, was trying to capture him. And then before she could even capture him, Gien, which is Frax's Japanese version, Gien ends up killing Dawn before she could even get her revenge and arrest him. He kills him instead.
Well, shit.
So there's like this, so there's like this huge dramatic bit where she just crumbles and she just like completely falls apart and just starts crying her eyes out, because she's like, I didn't get my revenge. Don't you die on me. And he ends up dying.
So morbid.
And it's morbid, but at the same time, it's like, damn, you kind of feel bad for her, because it's like the whole season, like the whole, like at this point, I think it's like 47 episodes at this point, something like that. But like for the whole, pretty much the whole season, she's like, I'm going to capture this man. I'm going to capture him just for him to die in her arms.
Right.
Like, that was tough. I was like, damn. But
That's also not very Power
that was like her
Ranger-y,
biggest
too.
part. I'm sorry?
It's also not very Power Ranger of it too. Like, because you know how with like with being a Power Ranger, you want to do the right thing. Like you want to serve, like you want to bring them in to to obviously serve justice, not so that you can gain revenge on them.
Right. Yeah, and I mean that, like her whole thing in Time Ranger was very like, it was very personal, because like he killed her whole family.
Right.
Like it wasn't just like, you killed my fiance. No, you killed my little sister. You killed my mom, and you killed my dad.
Damn.
Wow.
Yeah. So she was like, no, I'm coming for your ass. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like that's the type of situation it was with her. So that's why she became a Time Ranger. But yeah. So that's why she was so pissed when she didn't get her revenge to try to bring him in, because it was like, you killed him.
Well, shit.
So that was that whole thing. But I mean, like I said, even then, like you would think that she would be like the star of the show, but no, it was Tatsuya. Time Red. Time Red got more to do than she did. So
because he's red.
Because he's red.
Yeah.
So it was just like, but yeah, I do appreciate that Jen was able to like really stand out and be the badass that she is, because I mean, she's Jen, so it's like, of course. But yeah, like I actually thought that Wild Force, the Wild Force and the Time Force team up was really good, because my whole thing was, it was one of the main B plots was focused on their inner relationships. And that was something that was like so instrumental in that, because it helped carry the actual episode. And you saw them like actually get around those differences and actually come together to fight as a team. Because I'm sorry, that whole thing between Taylor and Eric, that energy, baby, first of all, I loved it. For me, it turned me on. I'm sorry. It turned me on as a kid. I'm like, looking at these two alpha people, this alpha male and this alpha woman, like go at it. I was like, oh, this energy, I'm here for it. Yes, honey. Like, I loved it. Because when Eric would stare at her, when she would be like going off on him, and the way he give that smoldering look, like, ooh, I could just take you down right now. And then also like, like, I loved it. Like, oh, I just loved it. I don't know. I loved it. So that's just me. I really like that team up. And also too, we did not touch on Dimensions in Danger, guys.
Did
The
we
one
have
of the
to?
best ones. How can we miss Dimensions in Danger?
Why can't that be a 3-part series there?
Gosh. Well, I would have liked at least a 2-parter for that one, because I didn't hate that episode. Honestly, it was better than a legendary battle, but I don't think it takes much to be better than that one. But definitely the biggest downfall of that would be the lack of focus on the Rangers that returned. It was cool that Wes had some lines, but like for real, you could have given that to anybody. It wasn't really. It didn't go along with. There was nothing that was character specific to Wes and the Wes that we had known all throughout the years. And then
like anybody could have said their lines, honestly.
Yeah. And then the other Rangers that actually got to speak and were with him was that Coda and Gemma. And Gemma wasn't anything like the Gemma that we knew. So like
nothing like her. She was so toned down.
Yeah, I'm assuming she's had therapy or something.
And her brother wasn't there either.
And her brother wasn't there, yeah, and they were inseparable.
It just didn't seem like she would have gone anywhere without him. She did not have therapy. She had electrical. They sent her to asylum. Like I'm telling you, she did not have therapy. They sent her to asylum where they practice electrical shocking. What is that called? You know what I'm talking about?
Electroshock therapy.
Yes, that was not Gemma. I'm sorry.
Damn. It would have been nice to know like what caused that huge character change. Because she was out of her mind.
And where's her brother?
And she was like connected to the hip with her twin brother, and that was just like nowhere to be found.
Oh my god!
Unless he's dead or something.
Huh?
Oh. Unless he's dead.
Nah, I don't think he's
dead. Remember, Venjix was in the morpher at the end. It's possible Venjix came back and the RPM Rangers got back together and some of them died. I just pulled that out of my ass.
I mean, that would make a really good story. Like, I think that would be pretty cool.
I mean, if he did die, he definitely should have need to die on screen.
Yeah.
Right. If it didn't happen on screen, it didn't happen.
or if it wasn't spoken of. And she didn't. Well, but like she would have needed to have more lines to even like get that. So, we saw Catherine and Rocky for the first time since the 90s.
Yeah, and they said jack shit to each other.
Yeah. They didn't say anything to each other.
Lena and I were just talking about this. You would think like Kat and Tommy would at least like have their arm around each other.
Yes.
And like,
yes,
hey, we more toilet paper back at the pad or something, you know?
Yeah, we definitely spoke about this, and we got to talk to Catherine about it, and there was like I don't think there was no direction to show that the two were married besides that little handhold at the very end through the portal. That's so whack.
Yeah.
Huh?
There was hand holding?
Yeah, when they went back through the portal at the very end, they held hands when they jumped through. And then that
what? Well. I mean, she could have just held his hand because she was scared.
I would have also liked to see more of the Rangers use the Master Morpher.
First of all, just so many missed opportunities. Yeah. So many.
I think it would have been hilarious to have Tommy and TJ both morph into the red Turbo Ranger at the same time. Then they look at each other and be like, "What the fuck?"
That would have been such a cool. But Tommy would never morph into the Red Ranger Turbo Ranger costume. He wouldn't.
But wait, now that I think about it, did he ever actually morph into the Red Turbo Ranger in there?
No.
Negative.
Wow.
I love how we're all like, no.
Yeah, he does not claim that power.
Ever. Yeah.
Well.
I mean, the whole thing is just really... It's kind of what we talked about last time, too. Like, we don't want to hear from the cast that's the season's currently about, We want to hear what's happening with the other cast, what they've been up to, what their characters has gone up to. Like, we had Trent, who came back and said absolutely nothing but what he's done this whole time. At all.
Yeah.
It's just like he popped up, he got kidnapped, and that was it.
Well, I mean, that's just like Rocky. Like, Rocky came in and he just was like, your mission ends here, Draven. That was it. It's like, okay, all right.
So disappointing.
Yeah.
And poor Antonio. Did he say anything?
Wait, Antonio was there?
Right.
Antonio
yeah,
was there?
Antonio was there.
He was there, yeah.
What?
He said nothing. Like, I don't think he said a single line, honestly.
So
yeah.
Damn.
You ain't seen that bad wig he was wearing?
I probably tried. I know. I have to Google this now. Antonio was there?
Girl. Yeah, girl. Antonio walked in there with that bad behind wig. I'm like, now y'all know better than that. Why y'all put this wig on that man? It looks awful. Child. Trash, honey.
And what about like what's his name? What's his name? Yoshi's character. That was a terrible wig too.
Oh yeah.
Like I mean, don't get me wrong. We knew he had terrible like hair before for his real character, but like the wig they had on him, because I think the originally when he was cast, that was his real hair, and he obviously eventually cut it after Power Rangers.
Right.
And
then they gave him a mullet.
That was the disgust. And remember he spoke proper English too in that particular episode.
And mullet.
Yeah. Like, it was almost kind of like, I'm like, first of all, that doesn't make sense because he literally went back to his world. He didn't even go back to the Dino Charge universe. He went back to
his time.
He went back to like his actual like time period.
Yeah. His time.
So I'm like, if you went back to your time period, you didn't speak perfect English to your people. So wouldn't your English actually be more broken?
And I remember that because
I'm just saying that just makes sense to me. I don't know.
No, I agree. I 100% agree with you.
But instead, this mug was speaking almost proper English. That's why I'm like, not a fan.
I don't know. I kind of wish that he would have been able to speak normal English.
Well, I'm glad he didn't.
I still like this character, though. Well, I'm not talking about him learning how to do it like organically. I'm talking about Miss Morgan making a ray gun that zapped his head, and now he can speak regular English.
Oh, okay, I get it.
That's what I expected to happen, but it just never happened.
I mean, that would at least explain how he could speak properly.
Yeah. I mean, maybe that did happen in between. Either that or Yoshi just forgot how to speak like Koda.
I doubt that. Yoshi's a huge fan. I doubt that.
You're right.
You know what I mean? Like, I highly doubt that. He's such a big fan. So it just seemed abnormal for him to throw his character off like that. You know?
Could have been a direction.
Well, oh yeah, we know they have really poor directions.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just so disappointed in that whole team up. It was just like there were so many things that could have happened that was like, oh, this could actually be a thing, and it turned out like not so much.
I'm not sure if I got disconnected. I'm not sure if you guys mentioned, TJ had mentioned Lord Draven, the Rangers having faced him before. So clearly between what we saw in Forever Red, Once a Ranger, the Legendary Battle, and Dimensions in Danger, there's something going on with former Rangers still having powers and still fighting evil. And what is that? I would love to know what that is. And they didn't give us any sort of flashback or anything. We just had that line.
Yeah.
This
Well,
is
no,
true.
well, first of all, we didn't mention it, but also too, like that is a good point. They did not mention nothing about Lord Draven before that episode. It was just like, oh, he's a new threat. Now that we're knowing about it, like now that this is a thing, because in the previous episodes, they were still fighting Odious.
Right.
So when that episode came up, this Lord Draven person just randomly popped up out of nowhere.
Did we ever see this person?
No. It seemed like the legends they have history with him, but not the oh my goodness, Ninja Steel Rangers. And I would love to know what the history with Lord Draven and the Legendary Rangers were, or what that was. But they didn't give it to us. Yeah, and it was like a play. That episode was a play on Shattered Grid to us, like a little tiny bit. Oh, so frustrating. Did you see that one?
Yes, I did see that one. Made sure I saw that one. Yeah, I mean, I just feel like could have been more lines. Like, for more characters to have the Master Morpher as well would have been cool to see them bouncing back and forth, like Rocky and TJ and
Cat had like 3-4 different power sets.
Yeah, exactly. Right. And again, she only had one line.
And didn't even ask about her son.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's right.
She didn't.
That's so
like,
weird.
when she got saved, it wasn't like, babe, Tommy, how's JJ?
Right.
No.
You can pick up a roll of toilet paper on the way home, from the grocery store.
Did you make sure we had enough? Because, we're living the era of COVID-19 now. Like, nothing. Not even babe, thank you for saving us. Thank you. Or, oh, Cat, babe, I was so worried about you. I'm so glad you're safe. Did he hurt you? No. Do you remember who I am?
And that was the part that really just got to me, because it's like these people, they were on the same team. Like, I would have thought that they would have been like, like they would probably have like a fight together, like they would probably had a scene where all of them were fighting together, and was that you would probably heard something like just like old times, or something. But not.
Like, and you had 3 of them that had ninja powers before.
Ooh,
and they didn't do anything with the new Ninja Rangers.
Yo, if they would have bust out the old Ninja Ranger costumes, that would be sweet.
I'm here for that.
Yeah. Like,
I mean, he had the damn Falcon Zord.
Let's Clan members, I am here for it. Okay. The rainbow colored Ku Klux Klan, I love it. Give it to us. We want it. Give it to us. But no, y'all wanted to throw Catherine in turbo when she ain't even had those powers anymore. It's like she gave them to Cassie. Why would y'all give her these powers back?
She did now.
What are you doing? Like, and then that key they gave her. Did y'all see that mess?
Oh, jeez.
Like, they gave her a whole wrench. It was like, girl, take this wrench and insert it into your morpho. Okay, here you go. Like, what is this? Like,
Surprised it was that hard to find a turbo key.
they could. I'm pretty sure the prop people could have made one. I mean, it's so simple. I mean, yeah, they could have made one that was so similar to the actual original key, or something. Like, there was so many things they could have done, but
you have regular people 3D printing them.
Exactly.
Right.
Plus, they're a whole TV show. You mean to tell me their prop people couldn't just basically create another turbo key?
Or I mean,
Like-
or I mean, like they don't even have to have her use the turbo power. She could have easily used the Mighty Morphin powers.
She could have used the Mighty Morphin power. She could have used the Zeo. I was thinking she was going to use Zeo, to be honest with you. I just knew she was going to be Zeo.
Wait.
Because Zeo was like technically her last official, like, powers. The ones that she didn't give away. Like, Zeo was her last one. So it's like, it would make sense for her to use Zeo. Why would you give her powers that she didn't even really use anymore? Like, that doesn't make sense. But okay, all right, fine. I'll take it. But, I mean, it would have made sense if she would have used Zeo. And then, not only that, Rocky, like, it's the same thing. It's like, those were Rocky's last powers, like the Zeo powers. Give him that. And then you could have had like a little battle with the Zeo Rangers. That would have been cool. But instead, they just had to have MMPR Red pop up there because, you know, that's the iconic suit. So it's like, oh, we have to have him be red. It's like, do we really? Do we really? I mean, let's just be honest. I love Rocky. I do. But as a whole, most of the fandom, they really don't care for Rocky as red. They really kind of like him more so as blue.
I like him more so.
So it's like, just, I don't know.
That's where the Master Movers could have played into it more as well.
Hello.
Right.
Like, give them all Master Morphers. Like, you know, I mean, these are Rangers who've had multiple powers. Like, any Ranger that has a multiple power, give them a Master Morpher.
Exactly.
Like, you know, and that would have been the perfect way to let them showcase all their powers and been like, okay, this is Bomb. Yes, they all have this. And it's like they could all, like, alternate between powers. And that would make sense.
Mm-hmm.
But to let only Tommy be the one to be like, yeah, I have a best. It's like, all right, fine, I guess, but that's an episode that we already talked about. That you guys already probably have heard at this point of this recording. When this episode come out, you would have heard this episode. But so you would know how we feel about Tommy. Well, at least how I feel about Tommy. But but I don't know. Like, for me, it was such a wasted opportunity, and there was just so many things that could have been. There were so many things that could have been done well with that episode that it was a failure. But I will say this though. I will say this. Now, we did kind of talk a little bit about the episode coming up with Beast Morphers. We did talk about that a little bit in our previous episodes. Mm-hmm. But I do have a question for you all as far as what you'd like to see. What would you like to see in the actual Beast Morphers team up?
I would love to see some sort of an acknowledgement to the rest of the cast that we already know isn't going to be there, but I don't know if that will make it better or worse to have them acknowledged, but just to have a nod to the the original five, and then some sort of a nod to the Dino Charge Rangers or Dino Thunder Rangers, because I don't think that any of them are going to be there actually. And then
You never know.
The Dino Charge. It's really cool that they have most of that cast. But if they could, I don't know, give a shout out to Green and Pink somehow, that'd be pretty cool. Jason, I'm hoping that he gets a good amount of stuff to work with. But at the same time, like the Dino Charge Rangers, they have basically a majority of that team is back, so I'm hoping that they get something to work with too. Like I hate that it's only half an hour, 20 minutes really.
Right.
I think that we're going to get a big Megazord battle at the end, which should be cool. Oh my god, it'd be crazy if they do show the remixed upgraded Goldar, if they could have gotten Kerrigan to voice him, and we just don't know about it. That'd be crazy.
Is Goldar coming back?
He was in the Sentai footage, so
okay.
I'm assuming maybe.
That would be amazing.
Pretty cool.
Unless they just go ahead and do what they did with Snide and like and just be like, hey, he's a brand new character. So yeah. But no, like honestly, what I think is gonna happen though, because like Snide is in that Japanese version, that team up. Mm-hmm. He's a completely different character. Because actually the character that we know as Snide from Dino Charge was actually an upgraded version of Zeltrax.
Right.
In the Japanese version. Right. So if they do bring him back, it will probably be like they just reanimated Snide. Which, I mean, they could do, to be honest. Like, I mean, I could see them possibly just saying, oh, we reanimated Snide and just have him there for the team up. I can see them doing that. Because, I mean, the Dino Charge Rangers will be there. So it makes sense. Totally. It would make perfect sense.
Totally.
And then, but the only thing is, though, how are they going to say that they reanimated Goldar? Goldar was turned into the dust. So I'm wondering how they're going to be able to pull that off. I mean, unless they just was carrying around his ashes
for
20 years.
I mean, you never know.
They walking around with this man's ashes like, hey.
Anything could happen.
That's so disgusting. Oh my god!
Why couldn't they wait for this Dino team up for the next season?
I don't know.
Right.
Some people were.
I say the same thing.
Some people were theorizing maybe it'll be like the precursor to that season, but we can't expect Power Rangers to be thinking ahead like
yeah.
No, that
now I will say it would be bomb if that did happen. It would be cool. Like if this actually was like a setup for like the next season, that would be so like that would be one of the most epic things Power Rangers could have ever done, to be honest.
Sure.
But of course, this is Power Rangers, and yeah, that's not a thing. They don't do that. So that's not going to happen more than likely. But we never know. We never know. Because they might pull a Lord Draven with Masked Rider. I'm gonna keep going back to this because I know y'all hate it, but like they could pull that and just have like the main villain be from like an alternate dimension, and then he'd be like, "Yes, you guys didn't defeat me." And then he goes and he jumps into another dimension, and then boom, the Dino Fury Rangers is waiting on him. Like, yeah, we gonna fight you now.
That'd be sweet.
That would be cool, but of course that's not gonna happen.
Yeah. Let's be real.
Not gonna happen. But before we conclude, I do have one question for you all. Well, actually, mainly for you, Travis, because I've already asked them. I already asked the others this question. But what are your thoughts on the brand new season for Dino Fury?
Oh,
Are you excited?
I am excited. Getting a little tired of the dinosaur theme, but I am excited to see what they're gonna do with it. I don't know too much about what the plans are for it, but what do you guys know about it?
I mean, as far as I'm concerned, apparently, from what we know, is they're definitely going to have a comedic duo.
Okay. Yep.
Now we don't know if their names are still going to be Jean and Zorb, but
which I doubt because
yes,
I feel
they will
like those
have
are slides from like previous years.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean, they might end up just changing their names, but yeah, that's pretty much what we know. It's just kind of like we're just kind of just we don't really know much. Honestly, it's just kind of like it's just there for now. Unfortunately, I did see though. I was looking online and I saw a random post of I want to say it was Spirit Ranger. I was looking at their page or something. I think it was Spirit Ranger, but they were talking to people who auditioned for it, and there was this one guy who auditioned for the show, and he was like a full out martial artist. I mean, dude was like, just kicking ass. I mean, he's like, giving us Jason David Frank tease. And they were like, nah, you look a little too old. And I was like, damn.
Gosh, really?
I was like, are you serious? Like,
that's rude.
What? They were like, but we definitely they were basically saying like, oh, you're too old for this season. You look a little too old for this season, but we may reach out to you in the future. That kind of thing. It was just kind of like, we really liked you, and we may reach out in the future, but for this season, you're a little too old.
I mentioned this before. The color scheme of this season is like the exact same as Dino Charge. I'm not sure if the Zords are exactly the same either, but just with that, I really wish that it was connected to Dino Charge. I strongly doubt it, but that'd be pretty cool.
Well, the Zords this time around, they share almost the same exact Zords, but only they're just different colors. So like the Triceratops went back to being blue. The Ankylosaur went from being like that cyan blue to like pink. Well, from pink, cyan blue to pink because that was pink Zord in Dino Fury. An Ankylosaurus. Of course, Tyrannosaurus is always going to be red, always. The only thing that I hate is that saber-tooth tiger is green.
Oh wow!
I don't like that. I don't know why, but it pissed me off because I'm like, saber-tooth tiger should always be yellow. Like, I'm sorry. Like,
Well, there's no
Saber-tooth
Yellow
tiger
Ranger.
to me is yellow. Exactly. Like,
So they should
it's the
shouldn't
Yellow
have had
Ranger.
it.
Are they starting
Exactly. They shouldn't have had it.
Are they starting with 3 or are they starting with all 5?
In the Japanese version, they start with 3.
Right.
And then
red, pink,
the
green?
other 2.
Is that correct?
No, it's red, blue, and pink.
Red, blue, and pink. Okay.
They start out with them first, and then the other 2 join it.
What would they do exactly like the same as oh god, I forgot the name. What was it? Was it
Come out the Japanese version for Dino
Charge? Yeah.
Oh, Kyoryuger.
Why are they doing the same thing?
Well, mainly they're doing that because in Japan, Kyoryuger basically was like one of their highest grossing seasons, like in that they had in a while. Like it was like their main moneymaker. So they were like, let's capitalize on that again.
They're literally copying though.
Oh yeah. Because they knew. They were like, oh yeah, like this makes money.
Oh wow.
This makes money. So yeah, let's do it again. And Korea did it too. Korea made their own version of Kyoryuger too. So it was like, yeah, let's redo this and let's make more money. Which I believe I want to say Ryu Soldier actually did do decent, but I don't think it did the money that they wanted it to do. But I think it did do decent though. So, you know, Hasbro was like, let's jump on that money train too. So, yeah. Yeah, I just wanted to get, what were you going to say?
I said, of course they do.
Of course. Like, this is a money game. Like, you know, of course they're going to do that. But wait, I have a question for y'all. Before we go, I know I said that was my last question, but I do want to know. I do want to know now. Do y'all think that Green is going to be a girl? Or are they going to keep it a boy?
Ooh. That would be...
I want her to be a girl.
Let's ask... God, I'm sorry.
I want her to be a girl. I think that would be a really good...
yeah, that would be really cool. We've never seen that before in the States. Yeah. However, that will force them to put more effort and have more original footage.
And it would be really cool. Because you know how for the 2017 movie we were expecting Tommy could possibly be a girl?
Mm-hmm. Well, I just wonder if they would put the effort in for that. I mean, it's possible.
They might not.
I mean, like, we still haven't had a fully Hasbro season yet. So, I guess we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, anything is possible at this point because we don't really know how Hasbro is going to work. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, hell, they could totally redo the whole entire thing and just make, like, totally, like, remodel their suits and, like, you know, do whatever they want. You know, like, we don't really know what they're going to do. I mean, of course, we know that's not going to happen. But, like, they could end up doing what they did with Mighty Morphin and just turn Green into a girl and, you know, be cool. So, and just add some, you know, make it a girl and, you know, make it, I don't know. And maybe give her a skirt. Maybe. I don't know. I mean, it would be hard just to throw a little skirt on there.
They may not. I mean, they didn't give the Yellow Ranger a skirt.
They did not. But also, too, they were cheap and they didn't want to reshoot footage at that time either. So that's why they didn't give Trini
Brandon, a skirt. Let's be honest. You think they're any different now?
Well, that's what I'm hoping. Because it's under Hasbro. So I'm hoping that they're different.
Well, I mean, to be fair, the fact that they already picked this particular season to readapt already shows me that, like, they care more about making more money versus raising their budget to, like, have their own original footage or to have their own, you know, like a different, what's the word for it? To have, like, a, oh my god, I'm struggling so hard. but you know what I mean, to have their own their own ranger with the skirt and all that stuff. Like I don't know. That just tells me that the fact that they are jumping on this train, they're hoping to make decent money out of this, and then they're hoping that once they release their toys, they can just steal their models like they've always been doing, and then remake the toys here and launch them here.
I mean, you're not wrong. You're not wrong, but I'm just saying, like, I just hope that they're just not lazy with it. I mean, there's just so many, like, it's endless. Like, the possibilities are endless. And I always hate when there's just one girl on a team.
Yeah.
Especially a team of 5.
Yeah.
Right.
Like, I hate that. Like that's just so weird to me. It's like a big sausage fest. Not saying that there's nothing wrong with it.
It's like Dino Charge. Remember when they only had
Shelby?
Yes, when they had
Damn,
wow.
And I love her.
Will, you should have known this.
I'm
You
tired.
should have known this. Ah. Oh my god. Yeah, when they only had Shelby. I mean, before like Miss Morgan came along, it was just Shelby, and it was
Right.
it was cringy at times.
Oh, that didn't bother me, honestly. Like, had Tori dealing with all the boys, that worked.
But
Tori?
it was a team of 5.
Yeah.
It was like a team of 3, and then the 2 joined.
Exactly.
Like, it wasn't like a team of 5 the entire time, and then it became 6, and then it became 10.
Right. Right, exactly. You know what I mean? And this whole time, there was no like other female rangers other than like Kendall when she later on became like, you know, the second Purple Ranger, right? But with Tori, she only dealt with 2, and even when the other 2 were added to the team, she still only dealt with 2
and Cam
3. Yeah, but Cam didn't really consider us like part of the team till much later on.
Yeah, he wasn't really like there all the time.
Yeah.
Like he wasn't like active. He
still
wasn't like an active ranger.
And then on top of that, he
Not
wasn't
really.
like hanging out with them the way that the other 2 were hanging out with her.
He was always in the ninja ops.
Yeah, and he only came out when needed. So it's like, I mean, Cam
Exactly.
really. Yeah,
In
like
fact, speaking of Ninja Storm, we totally didn't mention the Ninja Storm
Team up.
Dino Thunder team up, which was awesome.
oh right.
Brandon,
darn
you're
it.
slacking.
I know. I totally forgot. I'm so sorry. But it was so good, especially that unmorph fight.
Oh, yes.
It was so good.
Yeah.
It was so good.
And did you guys think, for like a quick suck, that Justin and Connor were related?
No.
Like they both had like very similar personality, very similar. I don't know, for like 2.5 seconds when they both popped up together, I was like, maybe there's a possibility that they're related. Like not like distant wise, you know, like.
Well, I don't know if you remember, but at the end of, I want to say at the end of, oh my God, Ninja Storm, we saw Connor's actor join the Wind Ninja Academy.
Yes.
Or the Wind Ninja Academy. And then in Dino Thunder, I think we might have seen him again. Or they mentioned, oh, my brother joined a ninja academy, something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Connor mentions him. He basically says that his brother Eric joined the ninja academy but then got kicked out.
Yeah.
He got
kicked out, but he flunked out. Yeah, he flunked out.
Okay.
So, I mean, yeah, I think definitely when Connor's actor came in, he was definitely supposed to be kind of like, because basically those actors, like he and like the other 2 people, they were supposed to be like basically the same, like they were supposed to be like the same archetypes as the Wind Rangers when they first came, because they were like goof offs and like they were, you know, they were slack and all of that, but only they had a different outcome. So instead of them actually becoming Rangers, they just flunked out. So, I mean, that was basically technically what was supposed to happen to the Wind Rangers. But instead, that prophecy, you know, said otherwise, that they were supposed to be the the Power Rangers. So
3 were chosen.
right. And they made sure we knew that every single episode.
The 3 were chosen to become
Deep in the forest.
Mountains.
Deep in the mountains.
Oh yeah, we forgot that part. Deep into that's not creepy at all, eh? Deep into the mountains.
It's like
I started
episode.
skipping it at
Me too.
I
Ninja
didn't.
Academies train future protectors. Ancient scrolls tells of 3 ordinary. It's like, okay, guys, like do we have to hear this every episode?
Every episode they have to tell us what happened, you know, just in case we forgot. Just in case we pull a Dustin.
Like, come on, do we have to hear this? But I will say for that team up, their like I guess their master gear that they were wearing, those suits were badass. Like, I love like their upgraded like ninja suits. Those suits were dope. Like, I don't know what it was about them, but they just looked so cool.
Kudos to them for actually putting some effort into the returning cast.
Ciao. Don't even get me started. But no, seriously, like they really did put a lot of effort into like making the returning cast look as good as possible.
Yeah.
Because they were badass. Like from the moment they walked in, especially when they were evil. Like that episode, the first part of their team up when they were walking through the city, and they were like walking through the destruction and everything, and right before the Dino Thunder Rangers came to confront them, it was just like they just were so menacing. Like it was just something about them. They were just like, you could tell like they were badass. Like you could just tell. And I don't know, like I feel like a lot of team ups just didn't have that flavor, you know? They didn't have that energy.
Yep.
I don't know.
They were giving me the whole Psycho vibe again.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Like it was very I was expecting them to turn their head like 360 degrees too. Oh my god.
I agree.
We're back.
Did they use their motorbikes in the fight scene in that one or not?
I think so.
I want to say they used them in the second episode. I don't think they used them on the first.
Gotcha.
They got a 2-parter.
They did.
Yes.
That was a good time. Good time.
Honor those days.
They did. Even the SPD ones, like they didn't even, like they didn't get a 2-parter, but they got 2 episodes.
Yeah.
So I mean, even they got 2 episodes, and it's like after that, it's like, and then once the Ranger got 2 episodes, and then after that, it's like, nah, y'all only get 1. You're only gonna get 1.
Such a shame.
Darn. It is a shame. It is.
Especially when like the Legacy War and the Dimensions in Danger, they had so much more of like a return cast that like it's such a shame that they only had like 2. And is it me or does the ending they only have like 1 episode now to end the entire season? Where before we always have like minimum 2 to 3 episodes to end the season. That's also a shame too.
Seems like that.
Yeah, they don't really do multi-parters with endings anymore.
Right.
They don't really do that. I want to say, like, no. Dino Charge didn't have a multi-parter ending.
Nope.
I almost thought they did, but no, they didn't.
No, they didn't.
Because the Earth got sucked into a black. Oh, Jesus Christ!
And then unsuck like within the same episode. So within 20 minutes, the Earth's gone and the Earth came back.
God, Jesus Christ! And I thought, like, first of all, like, can I just say, can I just say how embarrassing that is, because they hyped. I remember, and we were there at. I want to say, weren't we there at the at that Parmofcon together, Lena? We were there at that one together, right?
Yes.
When the Dino Charge cast had their panel.
Oh yes.
Yeah, we were there. We were there because that was the same time they introduced Ninja Steel.
Yeah.
That cast, like, I remember them being on the panel, and they were talking about their finale. And they were like, oh, you guys are going to love it, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, oh, this is going to be good because this was a great season.
Yeah.
And that's when I learned for myself. I don't know if anyone else learned this, but that's when I learned you can't listen to them.
Obviously, because they got paid to say foolishness to us. Foolishness.
You can't listen to them because they have to promote it. Like, they have to. Yeah. So they can't literally say, well, guys, this is gonna suck, so don't watch, don't be happy about this. You know what I'm saying? Like,
maybe
you can't say that.
Say that, but
yeah, I mean, but at least hint it to us. You know what I'm saying? Like, at least give us a hint.
But
like, you guys might like it, you guys might not.
But we might. But what if they thought it was gonna be a good episode because they filmed a bunch of stuff for it and they hadn't even seen the final product? And so for them, what if they genuinely thought it was good?
It could be it.
You know what I mean? Like, because you know how they always tell us, like, there's like, they filmed this scene, they filmed that scene, that was taken out, this was taken out. Like, you remember with Catherine, when we interviewed her, and we spoke about dimensions, and I remember when we first asked her, she was like, well, was I really there? I mean, I don't know. I mean, my body was there, but I wasn't really there. But then she rewind, it was like they filmed a bunch of stuff, and they did a bunch of stuff for the episode, but nothing ever made it in.
This is true.
So
this is true.
You know what I mean? So what if they genuinely thought, like, oh yeah, this is gonna be such a great episode because we did X, Y, and Z, and now we can't wait for you to see X, Y, and Z. But then when they actually watch the final episode themselves, they're like, well, this is embarrassing.
This is like, so you mean to tell me we filmed all these ass-kicking scenes, and you mean to tell me this message? It's like,
well, like,
what is this?
Case in point, didn't Zoe, what's her name? Jacqueline and Liana film something that never made it either?
Oh, you talking about that fight scene?
Yeah.
That they filmed together? Yeah. That they cut into, like, so many pieces, and like basically the whole thing didn't even make it.
Yeah.
The best parts of it didn't make it.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow, there was something better than what they aired. I thought what they aired was pretty good.
No, there was
like they actually had a full out fight scene.
Yeah.
Where, like, Liana did, like, a scorpion kick and everything.
Everything.
And, yeah, none of that made it.
Nope, never made it.
Damn.
Yeah. So you see what I mean? Like, so we can't even be that harsh on them because we don't even know what they genuinely believe. What if they genuinely believe that it was a really good scene because they felt X, Y, Z, and then next thing you know, when they seen the final product, like when we did, wow, they probably like hid under their blanket and hope that the fans don't message them.
Like, you lied to us. How dare you? You told us.
I would love to hear oh my gosh, whoever worked for the Neo Saban era in particular, since they're not under contract anymore. I'd love to hear their real thoughts on everything.
Of which team?
Or on any Neo Saban era season, like their real thoughts on everything now, because they're not under contract anymore. Because I'm sure we can get real reactions or real stories and stuff.
Well, that will hopefully maybe we can get some Neo Saban actors on the show. Some more of them, because we did get two. We got two of them. So let's get some more of them. Let's see if we can get some more, so we can get some tea, some real tea. Like
Like what's up?
what and I would love to throw out there if I'll pose this to the listeners. If we could have, and I'm also going to post this on our page as well, but if we could have any other actors on the show, who would you want from the Neo Saban era that we could interview and that we could, talk to and get the tea from? Like who would y'all want?
And please
let
tag
us
them.
know.
Please tag them.
Yes, tag them. Let them know. Like, who would y'all want us to talk to? Because I have my select few that I would love to chat with. What's the tea with this? Why did that happen? Because we got questions. But yes, I will pose that to everybody. So because we want to know, we really do, because we would love to talk to them. Well, once again, thank you so much, Travis, for joining us today on this episode. We really appreciate you.
It's my pleasure.
Thank you.
And also to you will be at MorphoCon next year, right?
Yeah, that's the plan for sure.
All right. Well, if anyone does, if you listeners out there do, come to MorphoCon, you will probably see this tall man, dressed as SPD Blue. Just say hi to him.
SWAT mode.
SWAT mode. Just go and talk to him. He's a sweet guy. And you'll probably see me dressed up as a civilian ranger, because I'm not going to do the actual ranger, but I'll be there in my civilian toga outfit. I'm not going to say what person I'm gonna be dressed as, but I'm gonna be in my toga.
You're giving it away already, Brandon.
I mean, most people don't know what a toga is, so unless they go and they research it, they don't know. But depending on if you do, I'm gonna give another hint. It's African. That should let you know right there who I'm gonna be. But yes, so say hi. But anyway. But that has been another episode of Tribunal the Grid. My name is Brandon.
I am Lena.
I'm Will.
Travis.
And we will talk to you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.